Well, hello there. We got a good one for you today. But before we get to that, let me tell you what you're doing. This is Outside Perspective. I'm your host, Adam Meredith. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to first say, guys, please help me out. Do me a favor. Go and rate and review the podcast. That's what really helps out. Leave a 5-star rating, leave a review. Help me out. Next, I want to talk to you guys about CBD, cannabidiol, one of the many compounds found in the cannabis plant, but this one in particular is amazing. And it's been shown to help with inflammation. It helps with seizures. It helps with anxiety, chronic pain. It's being used, this particular compound is helping and being used to treat things like depression and epilepsy and PTSD. It's amazing the things that we're learning and the things that we're able to do with this plant. But CBD in particular, I use it. I'm a huge advocate for it. It 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 doesn't have the it doesn't have the psychoactive component that most people are so scared of, THC. Typically, when we're talking about CBD, we're talking about hemp strains. I got typically that's what we are referring to are hemp strains, which are high CBD, essentially zero THC, very negligible if there is any in there. Not enough to even uh, make you feel high. It won't even show up like on a drug test. I know so many people are afraid of that. Oh, if I take CBD, will I fail a drug test? I guess you could say potentially if it's from a shitty source, but if you're getting high quality products that are tested, you are fine. There's no issues. And that brings me to Jumbo Superfoods. These guys are amazing. Everything is high quality. They take pride in what they do. I actually had Kyle Brown on episode 6. Go back and check that out if you haven't. And yeah, their products are amazing. So I have a link in the show notes to Jumbo Superfoods. If you use that link, it does help me out um, with the podcast. There's a small percentage that gets kicked back, so I would really appreciate it if you could do that. Help support the podcast in a way that doesn't really cost you anything. And you get to use some awesome products from Jumbo Superfoods. I love their Muscle Bomb, but they also have like ghee that you can put in your coffee. Um, I also do like their sprays. It tastes delicious. I've had both the mint and the cinnamon. Phenomenal. I like putting the cinnamon in my coffee actually. Uh, yeah, so Jumbo Superfoods. I have the link in my show notes, so go check them out. And then to today's guest, man, I sat down with the nerdy heathen, Matteson. This guy is an interesting dude, and I'm super pissed off at myself because I lost the video for this podcast. And I mean, these things happen, right? It's all in the beginning. We're learning, we're growing. I started with no video and I'm adding video. But just to let you guys know, like, I'm just using my phone to record these. You got to start somewhere. And I put it on Do Not Disturb so nobody can interrupt the video. However, maybe I'm just slow. I wasn't aware that do not disturb does not really mean do not disturb because people can still get a hold of you if they're like on your favorites or whatever the case may be. Like I didn't know you could adjust those settings. My brother called me during the fucking podcast. Can't even be mad at the guy. Can't even be mad at it. It's totally my fault. So I had to adjust my phone so that way nobody can get through when I put it on do not disturb. And really, I just got to just up the game and just get something dedicated for recording. I can't keep doing it this way. TMI? Am I just sharing? I don't know. Behind the scenes, these are the struggles of a podcaster. Yeah. Matteson. We had a great time. Dude wears a kilt. He does comedy. He makes soap. I really enjoyed talking to him. We drank 2 bottles of mead, which is like a honey wine. God, this was a Sunday morning. We talk about it. There, we were both up late the previous night, doing 2 different places, doing separate things. But there were UFC fights. We're staying up watching those, and then we got up early Sunday morning. I thought it'd be a good idea to podcast early Sunday morning, and we were both pretty tired, and we decided to start drinking that morning. That was probably not the smartest choice, but it made for some interesting conversation, I suppose. Yeah, so without further ado, Matteson.
Some people it's like, oh, we're recording. I'm not gonna name names now. Sorry.
You're not gonna name names now. All right,
Nah.
Matt Matteson. So, but did I say that right?
Yeah.
I always question this. I was talking to Nate about this yesterday.
You're one of the few people got it right because most everybody gets Matteson, and for some reason I hear Matterson. Like, where the fuck are you people getting an R?
There's no R here.
Right. Like, what the hell?
Because we're in Missouri. We like to pronounce things fucked up.
Yeah, we wash everything.
Yeah, we wash things. Washington, Missouri. My grandma used to say instead of sink, I don't know. She used to say zinc. That's just probably unique to her.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a sink. That's not a Z. That's a fucking S, grandma.
Oh man.
Oh fuck. All right, man. So let's jump into the current events of today.
Oh wow.
McGregor, Khabib.
Okay, so on one hand, we have the fact that we try so hard to be taken seriously and not viewed as these angry, violent knuckle draggers. But on the other hand, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was, if you weren't entertained by that last night, you're fucking lying to yourself.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit, man. Like
no matter what side you're on or what you feel about either of those guys, that was fun to watch. It was fucking crazy and oh God, but whoa.
Yeah. The whole fact that guys jumped into the fucking ring,
dude,
into the cage, when Conor wasn't even he didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Actually, they just released someone in the crowd had video. Conor took a swing at Khabib's brother first.
Oh, really?
In the cage. So Khabib leaving was totally separate, but in the cage, Conor's what started it.
Really? So
I mean,
did he swing at him because he saw Khabib's brother coming, or you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm still sleep deprived from staying up from all of this.
Yeah, I don't know if I scheduled our podcast at the most efficient time. I'm like, fuck, dude, 9 a.m. Let's do it. I got shit to do afterwards.
It's not your fault. Dana White didn't take you into consideration when he scheduled UFC 229 last night.
Such an asshole, man. I know. Well, they're in Vegas though, right? Because
right.
I said that last night. I'm like, why are these fights always so fucking late? And it's like, well, they're in Vegas, dude. So it's 2 hours behind us.
Yeah.
Is it behind or ahead?
They're earlier, so for them it'd be around 7 right now.
Right. Yeah. No. They're. Yeah. I just didn't know if I said that right. 2 hours. Yeah. No. They're behind us. Right. Yeah. So it starts at 9 o'clock here. The card does.
Right.
So that's 7 o'clock there. So it's completely reasonable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, midnight is only 10 o'clock there.
Yeah.
But fuck, dude. Yeah. So Khabib submits McGregor with a fucking face crank.
Right.
If McGregor didn't tap, his jaw was gonna get broke 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure his jaw is sore as fuck today.
Oh yeah, because that was a hell of a neck crank.
Yeah, that shit does not feel good.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then he immediately proceeds to jump out of the cage.
Right. Which, again, on that I'm torn because it was inexcusable, it was terrible, but all Conor did the whole camp was rag on his family, his religion, his nationality. I honestly don't blame him.
Yeah, because for Conor, it's a show, right? He's just he's like, I'm just trying to get fucking pay-per-view buys. This is all a show, man. But Khabib's like, no, motherfucker. This is real life.
Yeah, he just happened to finally meet somebody who's taking it seriously and was capable of doing something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a hell of a fight, man. Just watching those fights in general, just watching, we were talking about a second ago, just the pure, disregard for oneself
Right.
just with the pure mission of just wrecking another human being.
Right.
Like,
Just letting caution go to the wind and going for it.
like you could see, like we were talking about the Tony Ferguson Anthony Pettis fight.
Yeah, that fucking rainbow kick. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just trying to do shit that looks cool.
Yeah, it was a Hail Mary with what, 3 seconds left in the round?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like right at the end.
I did not foresee him not answering that bell the third round, but I guess he said he broke his hand. Is that what it was?
Right. And of course, as soon as I heard that, I'm sitting there like, well, what about when Zach Freeman fought? He busted his hand in the first round and went on and won it.
Yeah, you're right. Faber
So, like,
fucking finished a fight with 2 broken hands.
Yeah, it's like I get that that's pain, but I mean, you have time to heal after the night's over with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying that now, but I've never done anything worse than I tore a tendon in my leg in one fight. That's the worst I've had. So that's, you got to take what I have to say in consideration. So
Hey, we're just talking shit here. Yeah, no, I mean, I would have fucking not answered if I broke my hand. I've actually thought about that before. I'm like, dude, if I break a hand in a fight, I'm like, there's probably not a chance that I'm going to finish that fight.
no.
I've broken my nose in a fight before, and I didn't know it. It was like the opening minute of the fucking fight, and I finished the fight, but like your nose isn't your hand.
Right. It bleeds a lot more though. I've had mine busted too.
Yeah, dude, there's blood everywhere. There was blood
Oh, yeah.
everywhere. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. But dude, that was a crazy fight between those two guys, and then yeah, Conor and Khabib didn't really disappoint at all. It was the third round? It was ended, right?
Yeah, third round. It was kind of near the end, I think. But I mean, it was nice. I mean, the whole time. I mean, people have been sleeping on Khabib striking. 'Cause it was clean as hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know Luis has been posting. They've been working together, and almost kind of shows Luis's striking has always been pretty on it. And then yeah, Khabib just lit Conor up the whole damn fight, and his wrestling was insane.
Yeah, man, that pressure was fucking tough.
Oh yeah, and it was the same wrestling he always uses. He gets that leg trapped and just sits there on straight legs, so he can't move.
Yeah, he likes to figure 4 those legs and just keep him locked out, and then you're fucking done. He's good at that.
Oh yeah, we've drilled that at the Wolves Den before, and man, when you feel that, like holy cow, and then when you try it yourself, exert dominance, like fuck, I'm doing this from now on.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid, man. That fight, I like McGregor because I like extreme winners. I don't dislike him, but I definitely wanted Khabib to win that fight.
Yeah, well, I went back and forth on McGregor so much because, like, coming up the ranks, like, he was a shit talker. Like, that's cool. Like, Muhammad Ali was the greatest shit talker ever. That's amazing. Like, he showed up at George Foreman's house when they fought. Like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of went back and forth because then he, at the press conference with Jose Aldo, he grabbed the belt. I'm like, dude, like, I come from a traditional martial arts background. You don't touch what you haven't earned. And so I kind of hated him again. Then they fought. This 13-second knockout that they showed was skill, not a fluke, because they showed him drilling that exact movement. And then I'm like, okay, he's a technical master. Okay, I can respect that. Then his post-fight interview about that was all respectful towards Aldo. I'm like, okay, the guy's cool. That's awesome. So I was a fan again. Then he lost to Nate Diaz, which I mean you can still respect. It was an all right fight. But he had an immediate rematch because he's a fucking drama queen. The only opponent he's ever had that should have been an immediate rematch was Aldo, because man was champion for 10 years and lost in 13 seconds. Even if that wasn't a fluke, that's still that should have been in like 6 months to a year later, easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, Diaz happened right off the bat. Now, in retrospect, I acknowledge it's one of the best fights in UFC history, but I refused to watch that fight for at least a month because I was so vehement that it should not have happened, at least not in the timeline it did.
Yeah.
And
are you surprised though? I mean, the UFC doesn't do anything.
No.
I remember whenever I first started watching it, like that was like a big deal. Like you had to like come up through the ranks and like earn your shot, and like
right.
It was kind of it was held to the standard that you would typically kind of think something, like you have rankings and belts and shit like that. Like it was done the way it was supposed to be done.
Right.
I kind of hesitate using that phrase, like how it's supposed to be done, but you know what I mean? So, and then now it's just like,
we got Brock Lesnar fighting for the heavyweight belt again.
No fucks given. It's just like, whatever. And I get it from a business standpoint. It's like, what's going to put asses in seats and sell pay-per-views?
Right.
But it's like,
but again, like I just brought the Lesnar thing up. Like when you have a guy who's not even ranked and hasn't had an official victory in 10 years fighting for a title.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like,
he is a phenom and a physical specimen.
True.
He fucks people up.
True. But back to the Hunt fight. I mean, Lesnar, let's take this off. Former heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful collegiate wrestler, on enough PEDs to burn a hole in the damn cup.
Mm-hmm.
I love Hunt. He's my hero. We were talking earlier about how he is the only reason I'm even in this sport. The man cannot grapple to save his life. Lesnar had to fucking work for a takedown, and he couldn't keep him on the ground. And then when he did was these stupid little rabbit punches.
Yeah.
that probably looked funny as hell on camera, by the way.
It's all good. Yeah, man. So when is that supposed to happen? I'm so out of the loop.
So am I. Like I said, I really don't pay attention to the UFC too much anymore because the direction they're going is just annoying. Like I follow the local scene and my team. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like a couple of fighters, like I said, Hunt, of course Conor. You can't fucking avoid following him, and Khabib, and then Roxanne Modafferi. I found her, and I've got a massive celebrity crush.
Yeah.
Dude, she's a brown belt jiu-jitsu, and she cosplays for her weigh-ins.
Oh, for real?
Dude.
I need to check her out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, man. There's some hot chicks in fighting.
Oh yeah.
For sure. But yeah, I don't watch much fighting these days. Like I'll catch some of these big fights, but I found like I just spend so much more time like trying to actually do things, and even like I find like whenever I'm doing something, I like consume less of that. So whenever I started fighting, like
right.
I watched less of it, but then like since I started podcasting, I listen to less podcasts now.
Right.
Just because like the time restraint.
Right. I'm actually the opposite. Since I started doing open mics and stand up, all I've been doing is just binging comedy on
Studying.
Netflix. Like just going through like all my favorites, like Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, Chris D'Elia, Eliza Schlesinger. I just butchered that name. That's why she's not using her last name anymore on stage.
Yeah.
But I just constantly go through them. Even if I don't like them, I still kind of go through, get their timing down, figure out what they're doing. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's just another approach to it. I mean, like especially whenever you're first getting into something,
Right.
start studying it. Right. You become a true student of it.
Oh yeah.
I think that's important for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over time, though, I feel like you'll probably watch less.
Yeah. Well, because I'll be the best, and I won't have to watch anybody else.
How long you been doing stand up?
About 6 months now, and I took about a month off because I was not in a great place physically or mentally. So,
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get back into it tomorrow night. So,
Yeah.
be my first open mic back, and you can bet your ass I'm talking about this Conor shit.
Yeah, dude. That's a fucking grind. These open mics. You hit more than like one in a night sometimes.
I try to hit at least 2 a week.
Yeah.
I've got a friend of mine, Dick Slocum. He's actually got he's on a show with a few other local comics here coming up. I mean, he hits like 5 or 6 a week. Like he's posting nothing but like open mics he's doing. Like that dude grinds.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Isn't that kind of what you have to do?
Right, kind of. But I live about an hour away from St. Louis. That's way too much of a drive for me to come in. So
Yeah.
So I pick 2, and they're usually like days back to back.
Yeah.
So
The Babylon there in on Mid
Yeah, Cottleville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have open mic, right?
Do they?
I think so.
I'll have to look into that.
It's amazing because, well, man, I thought that, and I still might just not be a pussy about it. I thought I was going to go try to do some stand-up. So, like, I was looking at, like, all the
Yeah.
different fucking open mics, and it's amazing, like, how many bars and shit have open mics.
Yeah. But you said it's a grind. Like, let me tell you, like, I kind of got spoiled because my first open mic, I did okay.
Yeah.
My second one, I killed.
Really?
The one after that, I fucking bombed.
Yeah.
Because I got overconfident. Because like, you know what? I'm doing really fucking good at this.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't.
I got this shit figured out.
Oh yeah, it's like I didn't prepare like I should have. I was a little too drunk, and I get up there and like, I'm not a super raunchy like I'm not Joey Diaz, but I'm not a clean comic, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm at the Improv Shop, which kind of strikes me as a bit more PG-13 than anything. And I did this joke about group sex that even thinking back, it's like, what the fuck was I thinking? That was a bad joke. But, like, I'm too drunk. I don't care. I'm thinking I'm doing all right because open mics is usually a room full of comics. They're not going to laugh at you because they're focusing on their own set, trying to remember what they have to say. And they don't want to laugh too hard because you'll get the gig they're aiming for. But so I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I'm doing good. Then, I even recorded it, and you can see the moment I realize I'm not getting any laughs.
Really?
Oh, it was painful.
Yeah, how'd that feel? Like,
oh, it was bad.
What was going through your head at that moment, rather?
Fuck.
Really?
It's like, and I panicked. I went back to a joke I know that does really well. Still nothing. Like, I couldn't save it.
You already lost them.
Yeah, like as soon as I got done, I'm like, and the next comic is, and he comes up and I hand him the microphone. I go out. I immediately to get a shot of whiskey. I sit there for a minute, and then I just went to another bar, to another open mic, tried to do the same set. I skipped that exact joke, obviously, but I did okay. And then, honestly, the worst part was like even after losing a fight, the worst part is everyone is so supportive. They want to know that you're there for them. Like, hey, you didn't lose, you learned, or like,
Yeah.
dude, you didn't bomb, you just learned what not to do. It's like, dude, it's okay to admit that I bombed. I get it. I sucked for a night. That's fine.
It's okay to suck.
Oh yeah,
It's a part of it. You
Right.
have to suck.
right.
I mean, it is true that that is like the greater learning lesson, right?
Right.
Because it's just a part of it. Because like I did that too, as far as like studying comedy, like just watching all those and just like listening to like podcasts and shit, like Joe Rogan and different comics talk about it. And there's
Right.
always a common theme of like, and they're so nonchalant about. Yeah, I went up there and I just like ate a bag of dicks, like
Right. Well, it's like one of the
Like,
things that really helped me kind of get past
just
the like
happens.
that really helped me get past the like I bombed one night. It was terrible. Tom Segura, he was on Joe Rogan and he was talking about how when he did his first Netflix special, he took the same exact set to another club a week later and was booed off stage.
Right.
And so before it aired on Netflix, he was panicking like, "Oh my God, did I record a shit special? Is my career over? Like, what the hell?" And then his career took off.
Right.
So I'm like, I bombed for one night. I just don't use those sets. Be a little more sober when I go on stage.
Yeah, you got through it.
Right. It's like, and I'm back at it.
You're not gonna die. What made you actually want to get into comedy?
Well, I've always been a total jackass. Even if what I say is stupid and weird, I think I'm funny. And like growing up as a kid, like I was kind of a class clown. And I specifically remember my 5th grade teacher, Miss Farina. She even signed my yearbook when I went on to 6th grade. She goes, "Oh, I totally see you on like Leno or Letterman someday." I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's whatever. And then I've got a professional comic as a friend, Derek Bennett, blind not stupid is I think his tagline. And we were talking on Facebook, having a conversation, making fun of the whole IHOP International House Burgers deal. And he goes, you should think about this. You've got the timing and the instinct down. I'm like, dude, you're drunk. What? He's like, no, seriously. I'm like, all right, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
And I did my first open mic at the Heavy Anchor in St. Louis, and I realized I can do this, and I love it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so many people have a skill, but they just don't have the fucking confidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, you just gotta fucking control that fear and just go do it.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, man. Because I saw that video that you posted, that short clip.
Yep.
I'm just like, hell yeah, man. He's fucking doing that
Yeah,
shit.
that was my first open mic.
Was it?
That was my first one.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, because I wanted proof, like, if it fails, if it falls, whatever, because, your first time is never supposed to be like, what if this does really good? Because the IHOP thing had just happened. Like, it was a week old to the day, and I had fresh material about it.
Yeah.
And, like, no one else is writing stuff because no one does anything, has a quick turnaround like that. Like, very few people can pull it off, like, that quickly. Like, I can't remember, there's somebody, I can't remember, they basically write their shit on stage at open mics.
Oh, really?
Like, most of us, like, prepare like hell. But yeah, like it was like a week old. I got it on camera. Like, what if this goes viral? Like new comedian rips on IHOP. Like, just in case, let's get this recorded.
Dude, it's fucking worth the shot. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta fucking
Worst
put
that
it
can
out
happen
there.
is no one sees it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which I always just tell myself when I post stuff, I'm like, no one's listening to this shit anyway. Like,
Right.
I'm not, like,
Or like you seem like I can't shut up on social media. It's like everyone's annoyed all the hell of the shit I post because apparently that's all I do. It's like, well, most of the shit I post nobody sees, so I don't care. I'm having a good time.
I mean, if it's entertaining you, there's this guy I went to school with, and one day he fucking filled up my. I'm sure he does this like every day, but my problem was like I liked too many of his posts, so then they just keep giving you more
Yeah,
of that
the
shit.
algorithm shows you what you want. Right?
Yeah, so like he just kept posting. I'm like, God, does he do this every fucking day?
I've had some people message
after
me about
meme
that.
after meme. I'm like, God damn, this shit is hilarious. But I'm like, what the fuck is he doing all day? Does he not have a job?
You just keep scrolling, find someone else.
I'm like, damn, there's like 10 in a row. One day I counted. I'm like, within a minute I got to 30. Like, I wasn't even fucking around.
Wow.
Like, I'm just scrolling like 1, 2, 3, scroll. I'm like, dude, what the
Okay,
fuck?
I don't think I'm that bad, and
I don't think he posted them that fast, but like that's how I found them in my timeline that fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, my shit probably is showing up for people. Then I'm so sorry.
It's all good, man. Who gives a fuck? I love that shit.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'm funny. That's all that matters. Fuck you, people.
Dude. So we're here on the Lord's Day.
Right. I'm such a religious individual.
That's why I wanted to bring you here on this day in particular.
Absolutely.
Well, I knew you'd be. I knew you'd be free.
Yeah. Oh my God. I honestly, I do love the irony. That's absolutely me too.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
I needed to be free this morning. I'm like, who the fuck can I podcast with
Right.
around these parts?
Right. Who like is everybody's in church. There's nothing to do. I know this guy's not doing anything because he doesn't go to church. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to talk about that because I don't know a lot about. So you're pagan, right?
Yes. Well, the way I try to explain it to people is pagan is a blanket term that kind of covers everything. So all your polytheistic, so your Greek pagans, most of us, like a lot of us are Norse. You have your Wiccans, your those that practice witchcraft and nature religions and shamanism and whatnot. And then you have our specific flavor is Asatru, which is Nordic heathenry. So basically Viking gods.
Okay.
And that whole culture. We kind of adopted the term heathen to ourselves, even though that technically just means non-Abrahamic. So if you're not Judaism, Muslim, or Christian, you're heathen. But we kind of adopted it for ourselves, and no one said anything because we have the biggest axes.
So is that something that like those typical like I guess Islamic based. Well, Christianity was Islam is its own religion, right? So
well-
Middle Eastern. So these typical like Middle Eastern religions, because that's where Christianity fucking
Right.
was started. So was that like a derogatory term that they used?
Yeah.
So they called you guys heathens and you guys just
Yeah.
owned it.
Yeah. Or like
Okay.
like, oh, you damn dirty heathens.
Yeah.
So like some people like yeah, when I tried to start that Soapworks, I needed a Dirty Heathen trading company. It was like I got a little bit of, like most people thought it was crazy good, but like a few people were like, dude, that like that's like a slur for us. Like, so own it, fuck them.
Yeah, I like that word.
Like one of the great things about being heathen is one of our trademarks is we don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's like people like I love being called savage. Like
Right.
at a certain point, it's just fucking savages. Like they're not civilized, right? It was a derogatory term, but now people are like, fuck yeah, dude, savage as fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I practice mostly solitary just because it's like I live in kind of a rural area. There's a few of us, but not really enough to have like an actual kindred, which is our equivalent of like a church family, kind of. And since I do practice solitary, if there is anyone if I mess up any terminology, please correct me on it. I'm still learning that side of it. But one of the big things I always get to is like I live in a very hyper Christian area, and of course this is the Bible Belt.
Right.
I've heard Exodus 22:18 a couple of times. Fun fact: the Klan doesn't just go after black people, also anyone not white and Protestant. And my car was very identifiable at the time, and I was very open about Nordic paganry. So I had a little business card in my door one day.
Oh, really?
I'm like, okay, so let's get this right. Christianity claims to be a religion of peace. Now, I also want to say I'm not ragging on Christianity. I have no problem with Christians. I just have a problem with Christians who have a problem with me.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there like, Christianity says they're a religion of peace. Ours is the one that specifically says we will fuck you sideways. Like, your God was nailed to a cross, mine carries a hammer. Do the math. Like, you're going to try and threaten somebody like that. Okay, bring it.
This was the Klan that did that to you?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it legitimately was or if it was just somebody being a jackass.
Just some asshole.
But I'm like, really, you're going to try and start shit with someone who their end goal is to die in battle. If that's what you want. Like, Valhalla is not specifically our heaven. We have several different afterlives depending on how you lived, how you died, whatever. It's not my first choice. If one wants me there, I'll go. But
yeah. So what's the practice like? I don't.
Basically, well, I'm the wrong person to ask about this.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, for the most part, I enjoy the lore, enjoy the culture. I try to incorporate what I can. So basically, wake up, just kind of go about your day, make an offering of the day to who. If you don't follow any specific, just who for the day is for, like, Odin's day, Thor's day, Frey's day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But for the most part, like, most of us have like at least one or two that we more or less follow or have a connection with.
Oh, how'd you come across this? I mean, you're from Missouri, right?
Yes.
So how did this come about for you?
Well, actually, it was because of martial arts. It was my first boxing match, and this is funny as hell. I was training with a friend who's a boxing coach out of Weldon Springs, and I was like a big guy, I had the beard and everything. He's like, I've always been like, oh, you're kind of like a Viking, right? And so he puts on a Viking metal station on Pandora, and I just fell in love with that music. And then through that music, I fell in love with the lore, and then I kind of found like, wait, this is still a thing. Like, this isn't just an ancient religion, and I'm kind of like I I feel what a lot of people would say is a calling. So on one hand, like, yeah, I kind of feel being pulled to this, but I also recognize that it could just be like an intense academic interest or a sense of identity. So people ask me if you don't really believe that, do you? It's like, I don't know if I do. And honestly, I don't care to sit down and think about it too hard. And like,
Yeah.
I go about my day as if it is. If it's important enough to if the gods are real and it's important enough to them that I know for a fact they are, they'll let me know. Until then, if they don't see it's a problem, I don't see it's a problem.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like a mythology that you identify with and you're
Right.
drawn towards, and you just kind of, it's just something that you've kind of found.
Right. Well, I love the culture. I love the moral code because I don't do turn the other cheek very well.
Yeah.
I love the fact that fighting and drinking are pretty much religious experiences for us. Especially if you're one of Thor's.
Yeah. That's funny. So Thor's the god?
Mainly Thor and Odin. I've also given tribute to Freya, Tyr, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but Loki. So.
Oh yeah.
Just I see them being the main ones contributing to my personality. Because Thor is this big barrel-chested, ginger bearded, giant slaying,
that fucking hammer.
Yeah.
Slinging cock.
Pretty much. Like he basically just all about having a good time and beating the hell out of everybody. It's like everyone's like, you always like. I get if you're religious, you want to give tribute to God, but he's like, oh, thank Jesus for that knockout. Like Jesus didn't help you just brain damage a man. He's all about peace. Thor was cage side laughing his ass off though.
You're like, look, dude, I got a cheerleader over here who's actually about it. Like,
right.
That's fucking cool.
I love it. It's like, and I'm starting to notice like more pagans in MMA as well, which is really cool.
Really?
Sheena Brandenburg out of Michigan. We met at one of my first amateur fights. Well, I'm still amateur, but one of my first fights, and we kind of sit up there, and then like I noticed some of the stuff she's posting on Facebook. Like, wait, are you? And she's like, oh yeah. So now every time we meet up, we're all about it. And,
nice.
And in Invicta, Suna David's daughter, I saw her fight in Kansas City when Smashley was on there, and she's impressive.
Yeah.
So we're starting to have a bigger presence in the world now, which is really cool because all the old religions are coming up. Like Wicca's huge.
Really?
Huge.
Those are witches and shit, right?
Yeah. I'm very not well versed, but it's not just
mind.
witchcraft. It's kind of nature work, or like at least respecting nature or revering it.
Okay.
But yeah, there is some, I guess, magic, and I say that even though there's a lot of it in my religion, but I'm still very skeptical of it because I mean, no.
The universe is a fucking mystic thing.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer.
Yeah, and I'm still of the mind that it still has to be proven for me to believe it wholeheartedly, which is why even when I say, like, I'm not sure if I believe this religion because it hasn't been presented. Like, I haven't seen Thor.
Right.
Obviously, if, all of a sudden I get hit by lightning one night, I'll probably take it a little more serious.
Yeah. But in the meantime, it's some cool shit that you like.
Right. Like I said, I still observe a lot of the rituals. I still have a lot of the mindsets. I still read the lore. Like our poetic and prose eddas. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. I can dig it. I can totally dig it. So, I mean, is that where the horn and the fucking...
Yes. Let's get this. I brought a drinking horn, and we have some mead. We have both elderberry and straight honey mead.
Let's try some elderberry.
Yes.
Is that where this comes in play? Is this kind of big in the culture?
This is ours. The Catholics get their wine. We get mead, which is still a wine, but it's based off honey instead of fruit.
Yeah.
So when you fill a horn, just like a good beer, you always start kind of to the side, and you always to the side, horn pointed down. And we just get a nice slow pour. This horn holds about 8 ounces.
Oh.
And I got this from a man named Louis Keltner, if I can give him a shout out. He runs Keltner's Carvings. And this man is a miracle worker with horns. You can either small ones like this, or he's got huge ones that are usually commission pieces. And he had one, it holds a gallon, and the carving he was doing on it. I said, like, how much does this cost? He goes, that's not for sale. I go, yeah, but just if someone were to commission an identical one, like, how much? He goes, well, this is for a gentleman who has already put in $2,500. I'm going to set this down and slowly back away from the table.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to fuck anything up.
There you go. All right, so you're host, and you get the first one. So the way you drink, again, to the side, horn pointed down. Because if you drink it like this, when it sloshes back, it's going to splash up. When you go this way, you're just going to get a face full of...
No, so horn... Okay, let me try this. Horn down. This shit is delicious, bro.
I love it.
Holy fuck.
That's another reason I love this religion. This is our thing.
Love it. That is so good. Holy shit. That's the elderberry?
It's the elderberry, yeah.
Where'd you get that at?
Friar Tuck's off
Oh,
Highway K.
Friar Tuck's. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
dude.
place, dude.
Oh, I know.
So cool.
Yeah.
Go in there, they got that big ass like freezer in the back with all the beer.
Yeah, or they have like the whole left aisle's nothing but brew kits, and like I said, they have
Yeah.
like really eclectic stuff like mead. Like you're not gonna find mead in a grocery store. Like, and if you do, you might find like Hidden Legend or maybe Viking's Blood, but that's a big maybe.
Vikings blood, right?
Yeah.
We need Julius and I can't. I always fuck his last name.
And Glitzkas.
Yeah,
And I had to practice that.
we need Julius here to fucking give us the authentic, like the sound that we need, because he has the sound.
I love that guy. Yeah, I still remember I think it was when he was on Fight Hard. Was it? He got his. I'm probably getting this wrong, but he got his opponent to submit by punching the mat next to his head. I think.
I don't know.
I think it was something
He
crazy.
kills people.
Oh yeah, he goes back and I think it was one of his first fights. He goes back in the back. He's like, I just felt this power.
Yeah, the power in my hand. I think it was his very first fight. That was at Rumble time.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was Fight Hard, was it? Or it might have been. No, it might have been Rumble time.
You know what? I think I don't know. I don't know. It
Anyways,
was
Julius,
either
for
way.
listening. Skol.
He's like the power in my hand. Fucking love it. Yeah, dude, that shit is delicious, dude.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So that's part of the dude. I can get down with that.
No,
Drinking out of fucking war horns. So is that like a legit like horn that
Yep.
was hollowed out?
This is an actual horn, and good news, it's actually yours now.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Absolutely.
dude, thank you so much.
I'm guessing in your house. Of course, I'm not going to come without gifts.
Dude, what kind of horn is this? Is this from like a bull?
If I had to guess, I'd say ox.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Did you go to the Renaissance Festival? That was just.
I'm actually working the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, is it still going this weekend?
Yeah, today and next weekend.
Oh, sweet. What
Oh,
are you
yeah.
doing there?
I'm working with a friend of mine, Mike Lindner. He's one of JW's purple belts.
Uh-huh.
We run a booth for his mother. We sell handcrafted wooden mugs. We sell these over-the-knee socks.
Oh, that's dope.
Bodice chillers. Which,
What is that?
Yeah, these are great. These are the prime in medieval climate control technology. It's a copper flask. You fill with ice, cork it, and stick it in your tits.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because it's right on the breastbone. There's a lot of blood flow, and of course, women are more equipped, so there's more surface area touching it, and it instantly cools. We sell out of those.
Really?
Oh, especially on a hot day like yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh man, like we did not have enough.
What do those go for? What do you guys sell those for?
$25.
Really?
And since if you ever go to a Renaissance fair, of course, the comedy is it's a hard PG-13.
Uh-huh.
Like it's all dirty jokes and innuendo. And so we get people all the time like, oh, this looks like. I go, hey, once you bought it, if you want to fill it with bees or hot water, that's on you. After I have the money, I don't care.
So that is some cool ass shit, man. So you do like the strongman lifting too, right? So is that also going on there?
It's getting back up. I just got off of long injury, which also is a big story I kind of want to get into. But
Let's talk about it. Oh, you say you don't or you do?
I do.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I was recently diagnosed with gout, as anyone on Facebook knows, because, of course, I can't shut up on social media, and I take a lot of shit for bitching about gout constantly. The reason I bitch about it constantly is I found out I've actually had it for over 10 years.
You're just living with it all these
Well,
years.
it was misdiagnosed because I'm too young to have gout. Because every time, like, I think, like, oh, I tweaked my knee or my ankle, like, something would swell up. I'm like, oh, it hurts. But someone's like, that sounds like it might be gout. Like, go to a doctor. So I'm like, all right. So I go to a doctor. Doctor rules it out immediately because I'm like mid-20s.
Like, that's not possible.
Yeah, like no, that's something you get in your 40s when you eat nothing but like steak and cheesecake and beer. I'm like, I eat nothing but steak and cheesecake and beer.
Yeah.
But and so we're sitting there like, oh no, it's just trauma. You did it, whatever martial art you're doing, because like when a fat guy does taekwondo, that's a lot of force going through your ankles and feet. So I'm like, okay, I probably just hurt something.
Yeah.
And so every time it would show up, I'd be like, all right. And my dumb ass thought I was just healing quickly because it'd be gone in a couple of days. It was stupid as hell. And then it just got worse and worse. And then finally I was having back-to-back flare-ups because I didn't know. Keep your diet in check because I didn't know I had gout.
Yeah.
And gout is basically what it is. It's triggered mainly by red meat, shellfish, refined sugars, and alcohol, particularly beer. It raises the levels of uric acid in your blood. And when that gets too high, it can crystallize in the small blood vessels in your joints.
Yeah.
Because of gravity, it tends to build up in the lower body. It typically hits the big toe most of all. I get it in my ankle, kind of the blade of the foot, and my knee, and some of my knuckles. And like I said, I was having flare-ups back to back because, again, I wasn't keeping my diet check because, man, shit sucks. This hurts. I'm going to treat myself. And I'm a fat guy with a sweet tooth. I would go to Schnucks, get one of those $5 pumpkin loaves because I'm a basic white bitch. I'm all about pumpkin spice.
I'm basic as fuck,
I would
bro. You give
kill
me
that in
anything
about 10
pumpkin.
minutes. Oh my god, dude, pumpkin beer, fuck yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, like
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about it.
And so for the most part, I stay clean. Like I made huge dietary changes. Like of course we're drinking now, but for the most part, I've got beer in my fridge that I bought when I moved in. Like
Really?
I don't really drink much anymore. I'm also an unwilling vegetarian about 95% of the time. And I went straight up veg because if I have zero willpower, if I allow myself to eat like chicken or fish, then I'll allow myself to eat like more and more dark meat because it's still fat content. I'm still good. I can have that rich savory taste. And the next thing I know, I'll be testing the waters with a cheeseburger. And then before I know it, like I've only been to Wendy's twice this week. Why not 3 baconators? And next thing I know, fuck, I can't walk. My knee's swollen up.
Yeah, well, that's shit food though. What if you had like high quality,
Right. It
like
was
grass-fed,
still
grass-finished, or have you tried like deer or anything like venison or anything like
I
that?
don't know how well venison would trigger, but like again, like I know myself, I don't have the willpower.
Yeah.
I would absolutely because
Those trigger foods.
oh yeah, oh man,
I'm the same way, dude.
Dude, Taco Bell is life. But and honestly, the only reason I can pull off the vegetarian thing is I can cook.
Yeah.
Man, I'm actually getting very good on a veggie burger recipe. The trick with veggie burgers: do not try to make them taste like meat. They're not meat.
Yeah, they're not.
Everyone knows turkey burgers don't taste like beef. Why would you make vegetables taste like meat?
Yeah, I don't know why people are vegans in particular. I was just talking about this. They're always like, I'm gonna get so much shit.
We love you, Jimmy.
I love you guys. I love you all, but I don't understand why everything is like they're always trying to make some sort of meat substitute. You know
Right.
what I
Like,
mean?
and I tell people that too. Like, no, we made our choices for whatever reason. It's like, no, if you want to make something similar, like make it similar. Like,
just don't call it that.
Yeah,
thing.
because you're detracting from your own taste buds by trying to make it taste like something. Like, no, go outside the box. Like, yeah, make a patty, but don't worry. Like, it's
don't call it a burger. It's
yeah,
not a
like the one I
burger.
use mostly is it's sweet potato and black bean, and some brown rice, and it's a lot of paprika, fuck ton of garlic.
Yeah.
I will always use too much garlic.
I love fresh garlic.
Oh, dude.
I've been told when I'm rolling jujitsu that I smell like garlic.
Yeah,
I'm like, it happens, bro.
I apologize.
It's either that or coconut oil. That's what I smell like.
Right. And so, and it's like, guys, like, well, like, why do we need cheese? Sorry, I don't cut off at cheese. But like, why do we need these things? Like, we're stepping away from it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We can make better food anyway.
Yeah. I eat predominantly like vegetarian for sure. Like I can go weeks without eating meat.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can
I
go weeks
can now.
without it.
It was a bit of an adjustment. I can now. And still, like I said, I'm not vegetarian for moral reasons. So once in a while, I'll risk it. And I'll eat something like last night. I watched the fights at Buffalo Wild Wings. So you bet your ass I had some Parmesan garlic and Caribbean jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't really have a whole lot of beef anymore. And like when I do test it, it's usually like sushi or like chicken. So,
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's amazing how many things stem from an autoimmune disorder, and the doctors they're not educated. They
Right.
don't know, and they're like, we're seeing more and more diseases in younger people that are typically associated with older people,
Right. Well,
and the doctor just writes it off because, well, that can't happen. But it's like, dude, we got children with I'm gonna fuck this up, but I believe it's type 2 diabetes, which is the one that's associated with. I always confuse those.
Type 1 is the one you're born with. Type 2 is the one you
juvenile.
earn.
Yeah, so we're seeing type 2 in children now, and it's
Right.
like fuck,
I mean, hell,
dude.
for a while we thought I might have had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my mom had a scare. She thought that maybe I'd be diabetic as a child. Thank God I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, my dad's
Knowing what I know
pre-diabetic,
now.
but of course he can be. He's in his 80s and eats ice cream, so at this point he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, they cleaned it up a bit, but like I said, man, like him getting diabetes, okay, just whatever.
Yeah. So what have you been doing to clean up your gut then?
Like I said, just a lot more vegetables. No unnecessary sugar, so I still eat fruit, but like no sodas. Like once in a while, maybe like a Mountain Dew, like a can. But
Yeah.
and that's really about it. Just more vegetables, more fruits, more lentils and beans. And
Yeah. Yeah. There's a test. I think I messaged you about it. You can get that. It'll tell you like your food
yes,
sensitivities.
I do need to look into that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all good shit. So all right. So I digress there. Let's back up for a second because we skipped over the fact that you make fucking soaps.
Yes.
Do you sell those at the Renaissance Fair too?
No, we're talking about doing it next year.
Okay.
And actually that's been on hiatus as well because for a while I started working my day job like 7 days a week and I just didn't have the time or energy left to put into it. But we're kicking that back up because it's a good side hustle. I'm damn good at it and I enjoy doing it. And
See if I'm doing this right. Am I doing this right?
to the side.
This way?
Yeah.
This way.
There you go.
Boom. All right. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, so it just got to where we had to set it down, but we are picking it back up. Another one of the downfalls I had is I am terrible at clerical work. I will sit and stare at paperwork until I decide eating something is a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm partnering up with a friend who's going to handle all that because I can make the product, I can market the product, and I can sell it like a motherfucker, but I can't do paperwork. And it's so weird that I got into it. Like I don't even remember how I decided, I should probably do this. But yeah, I started making it. It's almost like when you're in middle school and you have this science fair project that you are all about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're that one kid that's excited about it. Like think about it. I am taking plant and animal fat, mixing it with a powerful caustic material, and I'm making something that people rub on their bodies to make them smell better. Like
yeah. That's some fascinating shit,
yeah.
man.
It's funny. It's like I take a lot of shit from like, oh, that's a woman thing. Like, dude, there's a lot of male soap makers and soap masters.
Yeah. See, I
like
hate
it's like here in this area, it's predominantly feminine, but worldwide, it's like most things because patriarchy, whatever people want to bitch about, it's predominantly a male industry because.
Yeah, dude, fuck that, man. This whole male and female.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
At this point,
we can all do what the fuck we want to do.
Right. Absolutely.
I use soap.
Yeah,
Do dudes not use soap?
Yeah, I said I would hope they do.
Yeah, dude, fuck. So how long you been doing the soap thing now?
2 years making it all together. I think selling it probably about 9 months to a year.
Okay.
Probably a little longer.
Okay, it's called Dirty Heathen Company.
Dirty Heathen Trading Company. If you're gonna look for it on social media right now, I don't have anything up because, like I said, we kind of took a break. It will relaunch. I will absolutely let everybody know. So.
That's good shit. Yeah, I remember you posted, like you made a post about you were experimenting with a couple different scents.
Yeah.
What's been the hit for you that you like the most?
My personal favorite actually doesn't have an extra scent. It's just a simple milk, honey, and oatmeal. It's my favorite one. But one of the bigger ones, I decided to do one for military called the Article 15, which is in the military. It's our lowest official reprimand. It's kind of like a write-up, but it actually does come with some serious penalties. But and it's kind of a joke. It's Article 15 clothing, for example. But it's beer base. It's an American lager, and it was scented with tobacco and gunpowder. So the joke is it's everything that can earn you an Article 15 short of getting caught with a $5 hooker in the barracks.
Oh, that is hilarious. So what's Article 15? Because I don't fucking know.
Basically, and I'm gonna mess this up because I haven't been in a while, and I didn't really pay attention much when I was in because I was that soldier.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about what I did in the military because I didn't do anything.
You're trying to get out.
Well, yeah, I just kind of coasted through. It wasn't. I hugely respect the people who are in it, and I will always support the military. It just wasn't the world for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man.
Yeah, like
At least you served. You did more than a lot of fucks. I didn't serve.
Yeah, like I didn't go. Like
I wish I would have. I was a pussy.
What got me was I did it for the wrong reasons. I didn't serve because of me. I didn't go. I did it to make my dad proud, and I started in traditional martial arts, our grandmaster, before I realized what a narcissistic douchebag he was. He was an Army Ranger, and he was very proud of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I need to do this.
Yeah.
And then the Army National Guard sent a young blonde recruiter to my high school, and when you're 17 and kind of a weird nerd, any woman who'll talk to you is automatically at least a 7.
Yeah. Especially at that age.
She
bro.
got 10 of us that day.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I mean that was basically it. I kind of coasted through like, yeah, I mean if there was something to do, if I would have pulled for deployment, go, but and basically the way, honestly, my career, the way everything laid out, it kind of allowed me to sham through, and which wasn't an excuse. I acknowledge I was a shitbag. I've gotten my shit together since then, but when I tried to in-process for basic training, that took 2 years because I've always had problems with my weight. So anytime I'd go for MEPS and in-processing, oh, your body fat's too high. Like, you can't send me to basics so I can lose weight. Like, I want to go. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And like the couple of times I did make weight, there was like some kind of fuck up in the paperwork. And so by the time I finally got shipped to basic training, I'd already been in for 2 years. And then when I got out, I was assigned to a CBRN unit, which is chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. It was a brand new unit, so they weren't going on deployment for 3 years while the unit built up. And we haven't fought chemical warfare since the trenches in Europe, so we didn't really have a unit mission anywhere. But if like a unit's heading overseas, they needed 1 or 2 chem guys, they'd pull from us. I did supply for a chem unit, so they couldn't pull from me. And if any unit's heading out, they're staffed on support and ordnance. And I could have reclassed to chemical, but like again, I was a shitbag. I just wanted to sham through. And so by the time a deployment force finally did come up, it was to pull gate security at Qatar, or Qatar, or however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Well,
my brother was stationed there for the past year.
Yeah, our first sergeant is very adamant that it's pronounced not fucking Afghanistan, but it's where everyone goes for the 3-day pass.
Okay.
So we finally got pulled for that, but I was in the middle of college. I was gonna ETS, which is I would separate halfway through the deployment. They said, hey, you can extend to go through. I'm like, you guys didn't fucking use me for the last 6 years. Why would I go through? And so I got out just so I could finish college. And then they contacted, because my contract was 6 years in the National Guard and then 2 years in active reserve, which basically means if they've invaded American soil and they're marching the crick up back, we'll call you.
Okay.
Well, and they called me up and saying, hey, you can drill with the reserves while you're in your inactive and like still get your benefits and your pay every one week a month. I'm like, I got attached to my facial hair, but you know what? Fuck it, all right, let's do this. And I'm getting all excited about it. I signed back up with the reserves for the rest of my inactive, and I got my ACUs on. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I get to my new unit. 5 minutes in, I'm like, what the fuck did
I immediately regret this decision.
I could have been at home drinking, and
yeah.
I'm like, okay, and God, that unit was. I'm not gonna call them out, but God, it was such a shitbag unit. Oh my God. I mean, you want to talk about a shit sandwich? Jesus Christ.
These things fucking happen. Here, do you want to drink this?
Absolutely.
I'm just sitting here holding a fucking asshole.
There you go. Typical etiquette is supposed to go drink for drink.
Oh, is that how that works? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now I know. I apologize.
You're good. I am not stuck up on etiquette at all, especially in an informal setting. If this were like at an actual moot, which is kind of like our services or like an actual like festival or ritual, like I'd be a little more hard ass. But
that's fair enough.
Honestly, I don't know the rituals that well enough in a group setting, so
I don't like to fuck up the rotation though.
Yeah. I'll drink to that.
You always gotta keep it in line, man. Always gotta keep it in line. So, God, I feel like we went on a. We were somewhere. Were we talking about soap? We got in the military. Yeah, soap.
Yeah, soap in the military.
15.
That's a hell of a joke. Article 15.
Article 15s.
But yeah, that one actually it sold pretty well. And the cool thing was, because a lot of men bought it for the novelty of, oh, I'm showering in like beer and gunpowder, and women love it because like the way the smell's kind of mixed. If you don't know what it is, it almost smells like kind of a sweet metal cinnamon.
Oh,
right?
Huh.
And with the beer base, sugar in a soap will increase the lather, and beer like not only has a lot of sugar, but I would also cook it down, and it had like you want to talk about
it's like syrupy.
Oh yeah, it was almost like showering in some kind of like laundry detergent. You would get like that ridiculous amount of bubbles out of it.
Really?
It's crazy.
Huh. That's fascinating shit, dude.
Oh, I love it. It's.
Do you have you made anything with like a tea tree oil or anything like that? Like like they have the defense soap.
Right. I haven't. I have
like
considered it.
Or some shit.
I've done green tea and eucalyptus. I've done lemongrass. I am thinking about doing like a peppermint and tea tree.
Yeah.
Because those are like your antibacterial, antiviral.
Yeah.
Type.
Just something you could go and like. I mean,
right.
Fighters, right? You're a fighter.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
nobody
on hiatus for 2 years. But if I have any say, I'm back in December. So.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, I mean...
At a new weight class, by the way, thank you.
Yeah, dropping that weight from eating all those veggies.
Right. Yeah, I'll be back at I'm within cutting distance at 205 right now, which is weird because I've fought at super heavyweight. I've entered the sport at heavyweight, and kickboxing I fought at cruiserweight, so 230, so... Yeah. And end goal is 185 if I can, so...
You can do it.
I'm just a big, fluffy middleweight, so let's see it.
That's where I started my career, was a 185. Yeah. I wish they had a 75. I got my weight cut down pretty scientific.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm going to miss about heavyweight is you just have to be within this 60-pound spectrum.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, oh, man, yeah, Roy is like bitching about nothing but eating hard macros, no carbs. You see these guys like kind of like barely hold themselves up, or you see these people over in the corner bitching about eating nothing but chicken and broccoli or like just water. And I'm sitting there like 20 minutes from weigh-ins with a steak and potatoes. Like, fuck you people.
Yeah, I was never that good, but like I was.
I love that. The fact that like up to weigh-ins, like, because I didn't have to like cut to make weight as long as you're. Because I usually walk around 260, so that's perfect. I love it. I'm gonna miss that. I'm not going to enjoy this.
I did it right that time.
There you go.
Yeah, no. Whenever I would cut to 70, it wasn't too bad. Towards the end there, I was hydrating that day of the weigh-in
Right.
up until weigh-in, so it wasn't ever that bad. But
Actually, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by saying this, but I actually cheated the scale for one of my super heavyweight fights.
how is that
There's
possible?
a story. It was a rematch. I'm not going to get into the huge drama because, like I said, I'm an amateur. No one cares about me. But basically, I showed up at the venue, and the promoter walks out and says, hey, whatever you need to do to gain weight in a hurry, do it. He's heavier than we thought because it was booked at a heavyweight fight at 265. And heavier than we thought. Like, okay, super heavyweight. That just means there's no cap at the end. He'd be however big. And I was 250. And if you're in two different weight classes, you still have to be within 15 pounds of one another. You have a drink?
Didn't you just?
Yeah, I did. I had to refill it.
Oh, okay, sure.
And so I was not within 15 pounds of anything over 265. So I kind of think to myself, I go, I have my ankle weights in the car. The promoter goes, I didn't hear you say that, but go put them on. And this promotion is no longer here, by the way, so you don't have to worry about that guy in the local scene running anything. But I'm sitting there, and I go back to my car, like, well, my ankle weights are only 5 pounds apiece. That's not going to put me into super heavyweight. I have my weight vest in the car.
For real?
So I threw on a 30-pound weight vest with a sweatshirt over it, weighed in at 280, and he weighed in at 290.
Oh shit!
Jesus
Jesus Christ!
And
you were still within though.
Yeah, and well,
Right at
with
the 50.
with the vest. Well,
But you're only 10 pounds off with 40 pounds on.
right. And but yeah, the thing I love about that fight is this was before I had just joined the Wolves Den, so I didn't have any jiu-jitsu at the time, despite how hard I tried to learn it from everyone else. Like, and it's weird. That's why I love the Den right now. It's the best part of my game.
Yeah.
But I choked the guy out in 30 seconds with a standing guillotine. Like,
Nice.
Like,
Nice.
I choked. Like, first thing I did, I looked over at Michelle Royer was sitting there. I go, how the fuck did I win by submission? That should be the last way I win. I hit people. That's what I do.
Yeah. That's funny, man. That is funny. Yeah, you bounced around to a few gyms for a while there.
Yeah, I started with you at St. Charles MMA with under Mike.
Yeah, I remember we were just training one night. Like you were you weren't there full time though. You were training somewhere else too.
No, that's where I was at the time when I was with St. Charles. Of course, I was also so I do apologize to Mike and people I trained with at the time. I started in traditional martial arts, and I very much was that asshole. Like, oh no, what I do works. Like, you just don't know the secrets. And,
I remember that about
man,
you. I remember that about you. I
Oh,
was like,
man.
I'm like, I don't think he
Oh.
fucking knows,
Look-
dude.
looking back-
I'm
looking
like,
back-
dude.
Looking back, I cringed so hard. Like some of the so the striking we did was full contact taekwondo. So
You were very confident.
yeah,
though.
so
I
it's-
liked it.
right. So when people say, "Oh, taekwondo's not shit," it's the stupid point sparring people do not like. When people actually train it, those spin kicks are dangerous. Like, I took 5 knockouts before I even did MMA. 4 of them from spin kicks, 3 were aerial.
That shit can be applicable for sure.
Oh my god, yeah, they're high risk but high reward.
Yeah.
But I'm very much that asshole, so I apologize, Mike, and everyone at St. Charles. But and I was building up, and then I had a friend back, my old instructor actually, Jeremiah Koch with Hapkido Plus out in Warrenton. He had the chance. He was building up. He just bought the gym in town, the actual like workout commercial gym, and he had the dojang for Hapkido was like a whole separate room. And he said, hey, we're thinking about we might incorporate like an MMA program. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even officially a fighter yet. I don't know what I'm doing, but this is my hometown. This is my new passion. No one has their name on it but me. So even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I started up Heroes Forge. And so my first fight was under my own banner. And again, just like comedy, I kind of got spoiled because my first fight, I knocked him out hard in the first round.
Really?
And then I immediately went on a fight losing streak. But,
Yeah.
But a lot of that was I was also worried about training my friends who were up, so my friends never took a loss.
Yeah, I think that's whenever I became aware of you. Is whenever you had that training center. That's why I said
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I remember like you were super confident in the things that you knew, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I still am, but now I know shit that works.
yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, you've been training for a while now, dude.
Yeah.
I mean that I think that was back in
It was 2011 I started.
yeah 2011 I
Yeah.
met you. Yeah, so fuck, dude, time flies.
Yeah, and then from Heroes Forge, we were assimilated into the Academy of Courage. We kind of became their satellite location.
Right.
And then it kind of sucks that didn't work out because we were under TJ Moeller, who is the best kept secret in MMA. I mean, this man is a genius. Not only his conditioning drills, I mean, his it's not jiu-jitsu for jiu-jitsu's sake or self-defense, but his jiu-jitsu for MMA is on it. His striking is crazy. And it's a shame that we didn't last because I really miss working with TJ.
Yeah.
And,
Does that gym not even there anymore?
Oh, that whole fit. What is it's the Warrenton Outlet Center, which people in the local area who know, anyone else listening probably doesn't care, but it used to be a big deal. Then the people who owned it jacked up rent, and it died out. Then some new people bought it, and
Academy of Courage was all the way out in Warrenton.
no, the main location was out in Wentzville. We were a satellite location.
Oh, you were.
We were actually out of kind of like a Ninja Warrior style activity center. We had like a whole section of mats that was about the size of a regular training gym.
Oh, okay.
And we were doing really good there because, new people bought it, rent went down, so new business could open up. But Warrenton just put in like a $2 million, I probably got that number wrong, but they just put in a new exit from the highway. It's going to build up.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, even though it's not going to be huge for business right away, they jacked prices up. So, of course, that activity center had to shut down. And when that happened, we, of course, got pulled back into the main location, AOC, so I was training with Kane. And then shortly after, I was working nights. He didn't have morning classes that were convenient for me, so I went to Wolves Den, which was a little bit of ways, like a couple blocks away. And from there, I met some of the best friends I've got. I met my new family. I'm really learning. Like, I'm still mid-level white belt, but I'm still confident in my jiu-jitsu at that level. The striking we have is on it. It's crazy. Thank you. Like some of the people we got, like I said, we got Sean Woodson, who, he's 4-0 or 5-0. He's fighting Rashard Lovelace coming up again. Like,
Yeah, that's a good fight.
I don't know if you've ever sparred with Sean.
Nope.
He has the weirdest way of using his hands, but he is going to punch you from whatever angle he wants to. He's going to do it about 100 times, and there's not a fucking thing you can do about it.
Really? Yeah, no, we were, we were going to spar. I went out to the hit squad, and I trained. And I was wrestling with Luigi, and he, tripped me or something. Luigi Ferravante.
Right. I haven't met him,
For
but
the
I know
folks
the name.
listening, yeah. And he tripped me, and I fucking sprained my knee.
Ooh.
Yeah, I still finished out practice and whatnot, but me and Sean, we touched gloves, and then I went for a jab or something. I was like, I just felt my knee give out. I was like, oh fuck, dude, I can't.
Yeah, I'll just say you took the lucky way out because sparring Sean would have been much worse.
We have different opinions on whether or not I took the fucking lucky way out. But
I'm just gonna Sean. He's an awesome guy.
He's a badass dude. No,
absolutely.
Yeah, I like Sean a lot.
Yeah, I finally gotten to where I can roll with him and only cry twice.
He puts in the work, which is what I really like.
Right.
He's out there fucking grinding.
Dude, every post I see from him, he's posting his workout from I can't remember where he's at.
Project Deliverance.
That's it.
It's good gym.
Oh yeah, it's this crazy strength conditioning routine. So, he is busting it. I love that guy. But then we Smash was with us for a while. She just moved out to California with her with her girlfriend. They're out there with their families. She's trained there. But she got moved up in Invicta with us. And then,
Ashley's a beast.
And of course we got Mop, who he's only had one fight as a pro, and he's got another one coming up because he's too worried about focusing on everyone else. But people aren't really Mop is on fire right now. I remember when I could kind of give him trouble with hands, and now I can't even think about doing that. And of course, black belt in jiu-jitsu, and all he does is sit and analyze fights. Every time Khabib fights, I noticed all of a sudden we're doing everything Khabib did in that fight. We're doing how to counter it and how to build off it. So we were learning that whole scoop the legs and sit on them. And that's when I realized this is effective. This is what I want to do.
It's a good system.
And then of course our coach, we got JP Maddow, who himself is an active Muay Thai, and our team is on it. We're only about 3 years old, but it's very quickly establishing.
You guys are growing.
Absolutely. I love this family.
That's out in Lake St. Louis, right?
No, Wentzville.
Wentzville?
Well, we are moving soon. I don't know the exact location. We are in the talks about that. But, for the time being, we're in Wentzville.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice to have that that community, that family. That's definitely one of the really cool things about jiu-jitsu just in general. I don't really care what gym you're at.
That's one thing I've noticed. Every gym is their own super tight family.
Yeah, but just the jiu-jitsu community as a whole. So I went to Vegas for IBJJF World Masters. I always fuck it up. But for that tournament, and just to be in that environment around these fucking killers, dude. These guys are multiple world champions, the best of the fucking best in the sport. And they're just, in the crowd, just taking pictures of people, just super cool, having conversations. And it's no matter where you go in the world, if you have a fucking gi, you can find somewhere to fucking train. Even if you're no gi, I guess you can find somewhere to train. But it's you know what I mean? It's this is a community like none other. It's huge.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And martial arts in general are kind of like that, but you'll see different styles kind of beefing with each other and shit.
Yeah,
but jiu-jitsu is very united.
And even where I come from, it was very in-house. We were very protective of what we had, that. And it's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that killed Taekwondo.
Yeah.
is because like, well, there's a few things that killed it, but they became they didn't cross train with anybody, so they just kept it in house, so they could never have a standard to measure up to on someone else. And like, there's one I can't remember the name of it, but it's in Florida. They will only do their own tournaments. They won't let anyone else enter.
Really?
And they won't enter anyone else's. And they're like a fucking joke. Like, I'm sure everyone saw the viral clip. It was a black belt testing, and I think it had like the Street Fighter music. It's these two older guys just like real choppy, and it was they couldn't kick over their knees. Like, I'm sorry, where I come from, if you couldn't kick someone in the head by green belt, you have problems.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, like, we did have, like, ever since then, our Grandmaster, he's gotten to be everything he used to preach against, and he's a goddamn joke right now.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up, like, it was hard. Like, my black belt test was 3 days.
Oh, shit.
And I got fucked up. So.
Yeah, that's a long test.
It was legit. It was legit. And like I said, our regular nights were not fun. Like, our regular tests, because it was work.
Yeah, dude, that's a fucking 3 days, huh?
Oh, yeah. I remember, like, class-long sparring sessions. Like, you'd be going constantly. Like, you would take a break long enough to change partners, and you're right back at it. But you're going for 45 minutes to an hour straight.
Yeah, a lot of these martial arts kind of start off like that, and then they morph into something else.
Yeah,
I mean,
because money is God.
Yeah, money. I mean, that's just the fucking name of the game, man. We gotta play it, unfortunately. But
Right.
yeah, they just become watered down. That's empty.
That one's killed.
Killed that one.
Hey, look, we have another one. This one's just honey. So.
I love honey.
Oh, yeah. I got Mop drinking this stuff. I'm not sure he drinks it habitually, but I got him enjoying it at least whenever I bring it around.
Yeah, I'm not a huge drinker, but I'm just like, man, when in Rome.
Yeah.
When in fucking Rome.
Absolutely. Well, in wine there is wisdom. So let's see. How's it going? In wine, in beer there is courage. In wine there is wisdom. In water there is bacteria.
That was probably true for the day.
Right. Well, that's actually beer is responsible for modern civilizations. In order to brew it, it has to boil, and it would kill off the bacteria. Back in the day, all natural water sources were filled with all kind. Like, I love when
That's good too.
I love when people say, "Oh, all natural's better for you." Like, no, nature evolved to kill us very painfully.
Nature will fuck you up, dude.
Right.
Yeah. No, the Egyptians used to drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
A very crude beer for sure. But
damn, that is good.
yeah, that's really good. But they yeah, the Egyptians would drink that throughout the day instead of having water. They would drink beer. They found that it kept them full.
Oh yeah. Well,
and then helped them work, but also if they're getting drunk, I don't know what the alcohol content was. I'm sure it was probably pretty low.
It was pretty low, but it was enough to kill. It was boiled enough to kill bacteria. It's probably some alcohol, but it was I believe 50 years ago or so, they actually used to give it to newborn mothers in maternity wards because it would promote milk production.
Really?
And then of course we realized, alcohol. Like, there's no alcohol in the breast milk. So, but of course people freaked out, and that's not a thing anymore. But
yeah,
of course, if anyone's listening, do not take my word on it. Please do your own research and ask your doctor. I'm just going to give that disclaimer right now.
We're just fucking idiots when we're talking.
Right. There's
Are
been
you handing that to me? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I just feel awkward.
You're drunk.
Maybe.
It's a good time.
It's a great time. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't even know where I was.
Oh, we're talking about mothers and breast milk.
Oh yeah, beer. We're talking about beer.
We are talking about beer. Yeah, I don't drink much beer. I don't really drink much these days, but
I used to, because I used to work right around the corner from Exit 6 Pub and Brewery in Cottleville.
And you were there all the time. Is that why?
All the time. I love that bar. And not only that, like the bar owner, I'm gonna give him a shout out, Jeff Britton, the king of smartass. Like, he's one of the few people that can shut me up.
Yeah.
Not many people can do that. And he's a great guy. Excellent high standard. Like, he really knows his shit in brewing too. I think he's opening a second location in Wentzville here starting next year, and it's actually going to be more family. It's going to have an actual restaurant site so you can actually bring kids in, because his location in Cottleville is only beer.
Just a bar.
Right. Like, you can order food and have it delivered, or you can bring it in with you. So like, a lot of people get like the $5 Little Caesars, or they'll order Stefanina's. Stefanina's pizza and the house ales.
Yeah, where's that at?
It's in Cottleville. Right off, you mentioned Babylon earlier. It's right down the road.
Oh, really?
Right next to. It's up the corner from Schnucks.
Okay. I have to check it out.
Oh yeah, great bar. Love that place. I haven't been in forever. I will say, do not order Bud Light, because at the very least he'll make a joke. At most he might kick you out.
Why do they even have it?
Yeah, he won't kick you out, but like you'll hear about it if you order Bud Light.
Yeah.
And no Journey on the jukebox.
No Journey?
I don't know what he has
Journey,
specifically against Journey, but I do know if I owned a bar, I would not want to hear "Don't Stop Believing" 20 times on a Friday night.
Don't stop.
Oh man, if any song can get white people crunk, it is "Don't Stop Believing."
It gets me fucking crunk, bro. It gets me fucking crunk. I love it.
Oh, sorry. I handed
Oh,
I
you
handed you an
crushed
empty
it?
horn. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. It's all right.
That's my bad.
I'm feeling so good right now. Like I'm getting hot.
Dude, the intoxication is real.
God damn.
This podcast is getting very off the rails, about 8 ounces at a time.
We're having a great time. We're having a great time.
I'm enjoying myself.
I just want the folks listening to also have a good time.
Right. Well, they probably stopped listening about 10 minutes ago, so.
No, 10 minutes in, they quit listening.
Yeah.
10 minutes in.
Yeah, what's this fucking guy in a kilt on there? What the fuck?
That's okay.
Who is this guy?
It's going on YouTube.
Yeah, well, great. The world can see my balls hanging out of my kilt. So.
I love it, dude. What is with the kilt? So is that also just kind of part of the religion? Like, what's your heritage? Are you?
If I had to, I could claim, the name is Scottish, the blood's Welsh. But honestly, I'm a free American. I do what I want.
You just like it.
Yeah, it's like I
Fuck
want.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love when like that actually gets more of a response. Like, hey, what's your family? What's your surname? Like, what's the heart? And like, no, I just wear it.
Fuck.
You can do that?
Fuck yes,
What's
you
stopping
can.
you?
Dude, bro, cultural appropriation.
Oh my God.
Don't fucking.
Right. Fun fact: I was watching this pattern here is actually the U.S. Army tartan. Not only is it for families, certain organizations have it. I know we have a U.S. national. Many states have one. Missouri doesn't have an official tartan yet. It's in the works. But I know the NYPD, FDNY have their own tartans. You can make a custom one, but you can't register it.
Tartan. That's what that's called?
Yeah, the plaid pattern is called tartan.
Oh. So, I did not know
that.
that.
It honestly is just because I feel like wearing a kilt. I want.
Dude, fuck it. Chicks wear dresses. It's airy. Makes them feel good.
Here's one thing I found out recently. This is a fetish.
It's a fetish?
Dude.
Chicks like it?
Yeah, there's like a whole group of like chicks who like go for a kilt. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't know if like one of the guys took pity on me or rewarded me. Like, after I turned 30, I've been a slut, dude. It's crazy.
Hey, dude, good for you.
I'm ugly as fuck. How am I getting laid?
Well, now that you have your beard back, you can probably have sex again. But
right. Yeah, I had a trimming accident about a week ago.
Yeah, I had to hold off asking you on the show until you got your beard back.
Yeah.
I can't have this asshole on the show with no beard.
Right. Like, it's my better half. But yeah, I tried trimming it myself about 2 weeks ago, and I was very quickly reminded why I don't do hair for a living.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to shave. As soon as I did, I felt my deadlift drop like 50 pounds. Like, God damn it.
Dude, I'm so jealous of your beard.
Thunder rumbled when Thor was pissed at me. I'm like, God damn it.
It's like, you have offended me. Yeah, I can't even grow a beard. I try. It just looks like shit. I got pubes on my face, fucking patches and shit.
Yeah, a lot of that is genetics, but to kind of help it, you can do things like more biotin, so like red meat.
I do a lot of that.
Yeah, red meat, dairy, eggs. Then boost testosterone, so like a lot of weightlifting.
Yeah, weightlifting. Heavy weightlifting is great for testosterone. I started adding to my morning coffee every day collagen peptides.
Okay.
It's good for your hair, nails, joints, different things.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just the so you have like bone broth, right? So you're boiling bones, you get the collagen and shit. So this is just like it's the like the building blocks, right? It's like just the most broken down form, right? So think protein, amino acids, right? Same thing.
Okay.
Collagen peptides.
Yeah, I know biotin you can get like just a supplement out of Walmart. I will say like you're gonna have to trim your nails like 3 times a week. You take that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll grow this out. And what's funny is like I'll be like, oh, I grow it so much, and then it starts to itch, so I shave. Like, really? Do you take a knife to your balls every time they itch? Like,
no.
Well, yeah, the thing is like because the reason it itches is the hair acts like a wick. It draws moisture out of the skin and it evaporates off. So that's why beard oil is a big thing now. Because we're realizing if you coat the hair with oil, it's not going to draw moisture. And then not only that, the moisture protects the skin. Healthier skin makes healthier beard.
Oh shit! Mm-hmm. God damn! Look over. Look, master class on beard now.
I what little I do know, I know. So
I don't know shit about it. I don't have to keep. I don't have to keep a beard looking nice and healthy.
Right.
I just look like shit when I grow it out.
Yeah.
I'll grow it out for like 6 weeks,
right.
2 months, and it'll look like this. Like, oh, that's cute.
Oh, did you finally hit puberty, by the way?
Yeah, dude. It's terrible. I just look like a piece of shit.
I got words in my ass with more hair.
It's like, listen, hippie, shave.
Right.
I'm such a hippie, man.
Nah, you're one of my favorite people.
Hippie and the Heathen.
Woo!
Hippie and the fucking Heathen. God damn, this means going down quick now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's a very dangerous drink.
It's so good.
And I see why we don't bother with, oh yeah, keep contained, because you get too drunk, you're not going to be a reserved person.
No, it's not possible. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like the elderberry better than the honey, but the honey is really good.
Oh yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah, if you get like a good cider, it's usually made with apples, because for a while honey was getting scarce. They would use apples to add to the sugar and cut the honey.
Yeah.
So.
Good shit. Sorry, I handed you an empty one.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm
Um,
closer to the bottle. Refill it.
That's
And
true.
actually, if we could circle back to that, one of the things I do want to cover, just because I'm very passionate about it,
Okay.
every religion kind of has their own group that took an idea and got it way out of hand. Like, for instance, Christians have, we mentioned the Klan, or like the Westboro Baptists. Islam has groups like ISIL and ISIS. I like calling them Daesh bags because they hate the name Daesh. Ours, for some reason, white supremacists love Odin.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up, dude?
And the problem with us is it's not a small group. It's kind of 50-50.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, I hate it, but I can. It's my
That's
drink.
all
It's
you.
my drink. Sorry. And they're gonna jump on your comment section and light me up, by the way, for drinking wrong and everything. I'm whatever. Fuck you, people.
It's all good, man.
But
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
yeah, but like I can understand how it got to be the way it is because it's a religion that didn't really leave Northern Europe until very recently in history, and there's not a lot of ethnic diversity up there.
Mhm.
And one of our big tenets is honor your ancestors. So like the family that came before you got you where you are. Someone took that to believe, don't breed with other cultures because our people are white and it's an ethnic religion. I'm sorry, I'm of the mind that if you claim it's an ethnic religion, you have fucked a close relative because how else are you keeping those bloodlines pure?
Yeah, you're fucking your
Yeah.
own. That's what you're doing.
Right, and it's really bad too because like the big name in our religion, Stephen McNallen, he's an amazing scholar. He knows his stuff, but
Where's he at?
somewhere I don't know where he is.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, but he is American.
Okay.
But the man uses the word Aryan more than I use the word cunt, and I love the word cunt.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he ran the organization, the True Folk Assembly, he kind of like walked that line. Like he would post something that was kind of questionable, but it wasn't enough to really call him out on. It's like, is that racist or is that just As soon as he stepped down, his personal page went crazy with it. And then the guy that took over, Matthew Favell, some of the first posts he put on the Facebook page, like, bless our Aryan children.
Oh shit. So how do you feel being associated with that?
I'm violently pissed. I am very okay with martyring myself, taking out a couple of them if the opportunity presents itself. So
Yeah, because I mean that's not you by any means. Like
No.
I've spent quite a bit of time with you just at different events. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
well,
I mean,
here's how they hide it. They're not racist. You're just not allowed in our religion because you're not of the blood.
yeah, it's like we
Like,
just
no,
want to just
No, if
protect
someone
our
wants to
own
praise
and-
Odin, that's up to Odin whether or not he wants that to allow it, not you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if a black guy wants to give praise to Thor, fucking let him. Who cares?
I mean, how many black people are really trying? But the question
there
is,
there are a few, like it's still very whatever, because first, like even if they don't know about the stigma, it's not really something that comes across interest very often. But then once they kind of get into it, they realize, wait, I'm gonna get backlash, like violent backlash.
yeah,
And even those of us that support it, like we have a whole organization which who are Heathens United Against Racism, or even I'm not a part of them, but I do follow some of the stuff they do. And we actually started a pseudo-political movement, Declaration 127, which is kind of standing against the True Folk Assembly and all them. And basically it came from the 127th verse of the Havamal, which is where you recognize evil in the world, stand against it, and give no peace to your enemies. And so we're kind of like, no, if people want to join in this religion, kind of do what they let them. Like, don't stand against it. Don't try and stop them. And if you want to try and stop them, you better be better than next than I am.
people are fucking assholes. Like, how are they gonna stop you from doing it?
Right.
Though is the question.
Well, and here's the sad thing: is after Flavel started posting all the stuff on Facebook that got it flagged for hate speech and they got banned, that automatically put them on the FBI watch list as a hate group.
Yeah,
Their membership exploded.
isn't that fucking
That
crazy?
that's disheartening.
Yeah, well, the sad thing is there are just a lot of young.
And if any of you fucks are listening, bring it.
well, the
And
problem
that's
is
not just the me talking. I say that when I'm sober.
there are a lot of fucking young dudes who are just like lost and searching for some sort of
Yeah,
community.
just angry at the world, and they find these people. Hey,
And they
you're like me. You
Yeah.
can come in with us.
And they, for the
Yeah.
first time in their life, they're treated like a fucking human being, and they're treated like they're
included.
important.
Yeah, or
and-
like, hey, you have the blood. You're special.
yeah, dude. And it's just like it's so
Right.
attracting. We're just people like to say like we don't need each other, but we're just
We're social animals.
yeah, man. We're just fucking primates. Like we need
Oh,
each
yeah.
other.
Like,
You know.
I'm a hermit, but even I get out of the house once in a while.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the best things about doing this podcast, too. Like, I just sit down and, like, have these conversations and, like, connect with people that I normally wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, for one reason or another, but like now it's like everybody's taking the time to sit down and now we're talking uninterrupted. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like we need each other.
Right.
And these people are just like they're searching for something, and
Right.
unfortunately, it's the wrong fucking message.
Yeah, and to kind of give you an example of something that's happened in recent history, I'm sure everyone remembers the issue in Charlotte, West Virginia, about a year or so ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of
McNallen wasn't a part of that, but he openly supported everything.
yeah,
Like when like the one dude killed a woman with his car. Like he came out and it started. President Trump took 3 days to respond to it. When granted, he finally did respond.
those are all good young men.
Yeah. Well, he finally did say, "Hey, this has no place in our country." Like the first tweet he did was I respect that one. His
Okay.
rebuttal negated it, but his initial tweet, like he said, like this has no place in our country. We're better than this. McNallen on his personal page put out how disappointed he was in our commander in chief for bowing to the whims of the liberal media and
Really?
all this, and how the young man who was involved in the vehicular incident, I probably got that wording wrong, but he goes, he hates how it was so covered by the media that he will have no chance of a fair trial and will make things very hard for pro-white activists in the future. Not white supremacists, pro-white activists.
Pro-white activists.
His whole big thing now is the white farmers in South Africa getting attacked by raids. Like, yeah, but you're forgetting the part where they kind of brought that on themselves.
The white farmers in South Africa.
Oh man, racism is real. Like, well,
it's fucking crazy in South Africa.
Think what you
dude.
will about Trevor Noah's comedy, like him or hate him. Listen to his life stories. Like that man can tell you some shit.
Dude, it is crazy to think
I'm
about.
not sure if it's your drink or not, but you are the host. So.
No, it's yours.
Oh, sweet, thank you.
I think.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, South Africa. We're kind of jumping around, but South Africa is an interesting thing because it's like Africa's the homeland, right? And
Yeah.
there are predominantly black people there, but especially in South Africa, it's like
Right.
it's like just people moved in and it's like no fuck
Yeah,
you.
the Europeans came and they had guns. The Africans didn't, and
it's like,
that's
fuck you
how
guys.
shit went sideways.
Yeah, man, and then it just became this whole segregated,
Yeah, we still have
fucked up situation.
we still
I'm
have
no
racial
history buff.
insensitivity and straight up racism here in this country. Like, we still have that, but it's like 100 years ago racism over there. It's crazy.
It's totally yeah.
It's a lot better since apartheid. I'm not sure. It's apartheid's done with, right? That
don't
died
know.
out a while.
I have no idea.
I know Trevor Noah talks about it, so I know it's been a thing very recently, but I know it's
Okay.
still an issue.
Yeah, it's interesting shit, and I'm glad you said that because I was talking yesterday with somebody, and we were talking about some different race things, and I think that I wanted to make a point yesterday, and I didn't, so I'm going to do it now. A lot of people here in America, I think some people mistake a class thing for a race thing, and the reason I say that is because, like, people will talk about like white privilege.
Right.
And then some guys will be like, "Man, fuck that. No, I'm white, and the cops always fuck with me." But
Right.
they're like some like you live in like a trailer,
Well,
like
also,
you're just like
for that I can to the point I will say like I. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. I'm losing my words here.
yeah, no,
But,
we're not we're having it.
Like a lot of those mentalities, they do take it a little too far sometimes. But I will say, I'm not naive enough to think that white privilege isn't the thing. The thing about white privilege isn't, oh, you're white, you haven't had a hard life. No, it's the fact that your skin color isn't what's holding you back.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah, you kind of get treated. There's just certain things that are just a little bit different, just because of how you're perceived by
Right.
by the outside thing. So my point is, those guys who be like, no, fuck, it's like, well, no, you're just kind of mistaken. This is like a socioeconomic like class issue. It's like no, we're both lower middle class or middle class or whatever the fuck class you want to call it. So we're both having these economic financial hardships. So that's the struggle that you're seeing,
Right.
because as people we have a hard time seeing past our own struggle. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, this is what I'm going through. So I don't give a fuck about what you're saying.
Yeah, or not even that's like, since I don't experience your problems don't exist. Like, no,
Exactly.
you're full of shit. I've never
Right.
seen that. It's like, well,
So it's
yeah,
like
you grew up in a small town before the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, man, it's like, I get it. You're in a small town. You don't have a lot of money. The cops probably fuck with you, but it's not the same thing. Like, we're talking about different issues.
Yeah, it's
you
not
know what
like
I'm
it's
saying?
not like New York stop and frisk law or what. It was a 9 or 11-year-old Mexican kid. He got tired of he wanted to point out how often he was getting stopped. I don't remember the kid's name, but anybody can Google this. So one of the times he got stopped, he left his iPhone on recording, and he literally heard the cops. Like, he got stopped at 2 different blocks, like within 1 block of each other, and you heard one of the cops straight up say, "I'm gonna fucking break your arms."
Yeah, it's just
Like, what the hell? Like, the fact that a grown man says that to an 11-year-old, and then a cop is saying that in general. Like,
yeah.
I will say, I will always support law enforcement. They are, for 99.99% of them, are amazing people. They do things I don't have the balls to do. But it's not just, oh, it's just a few bad apples. No, the phrase is a few bad apples will ruin the bunch. So the fact that, I mean, in any demographic, you're going to have that small amount of people that are going to be shitbags.
Yeah.
But when you're in that kind of job, like you have to, like, the good guys need to keep the shitbags accountable. Like, it's starting to happen a little more, but man, if your partner's doing some shady shit, planting drugs or planting guns, call him out. Like, even if it's going, like, I can say this, I'm not making that sacrifice, but even if it's going to cost you shit, do the right thing, call him out.
Yeah, I think
Like,
they're
I know a lot of great cops. They're great people, but the
ton.
shitbags do exist.
absolutely. They are the minority, and they are making a lot of the good ones look bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, I will say
because
they are the
I
extreme
know a
minority.
ton of great cops, dude, especially doing jujitsu.
Yeah, well, the
Like, we're
Wolves Den
getting-
is like half ex-military and law enforcement.
Yeah, we're getting more and more people who
yeah.
actually like want to learn jujitsu for like the
Right.
reason so they can do their job better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got those assholes who just
They have the anger issues and have to have some kind of problem and
well, the idea that we're all just people.
right.
And no one's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. So you're always going to have somebody fuck up. I mean,
Yeah, whether you're a CrossFitter or you're fucking vegan,
they tend
we're,
to do it a little more often.
we're gonna have the vocal assholes. I love you, CrossFitters. I don't do CrossFit. I think you guys are fucking great. You guys are monsters. I can never do your workouts. Like, I'm just not about it. But
two things: kipping, pull-ups, and the overhead swing. Like,
I
if,
heard
if the kettlebell goes over your head, there is one hand on it. Your shoulders are not meant to do. Like, this is uncomfortable.
yeah, I can't get with those really high kettlebell swings because
Those are so
it's not a
stupid.
swing anymore.
Just snatch the fucking thing.
But here's the thing. I've tried to keep an open mind and say there's other ways to do things. There's not just one right way to do things. I think it's just what you're trying to accomplish.
Right, but with the thing with the swing, though, it's all the hip drive. The only reason your arms exist in that movement is to tether the bell to your body. You don't, like, you see people try to, like, squat and, like, lift it. Like,
So at that point, it's a different move. It's not a swing anymore.
Well, it's an incorrect move. It's very dumb because, like I said, your shoulders don't do this movement. So already I'm feeling that in the top and back of my deltoid. Like, your shoulders don't, you have to bend your arms to get that. And it's just terrible movement. Like, think about it, like, I don't want to set the horn down, but you put your fists together, keep your elbows locked, right? Try to raise your shoulders and tell me at what point it's uncomfortable.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a range of motion thing, though. That's a mobility issue. We can actually fix that.
That's bone on bone. That's a hard end feel.
I don't know about that. That's a range of motion thing.
I can see you having to adjust your back to get your shoulders in there.
Yeah, but I have bad range of motion in my shoulders. Like where I'm stopping at, that's a cartilage. No, dude, that's definitely a cartilage thing.
Sure, I don't know a whole lot of people who specialize in hardstyle kettlebell. Okay, all right.
That's totally cool. I don't
know what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna disagree with you on a swing because you're right. Like you're not supposed to come up over your. It's a different movement at that point.
If you do a swing correctly, the bell will actually raise faster than your hands. You'll see, like if you do a slow motion video or a still photo, you'll actually see like your hands here, the bell's like right about here.
Yeah, I'll give you that on the swing. However, if we're talking about shoulder mobility, if we're just talking about the ranges of motion of the body, your body like this right here, my limited range of motion. Arm straight.
This, not so much, because remember your hands have to meet. Like this is uncomfortable. Like my lats are uncomfortable. I'm having to like separate my.
Okay,
that's
so
not good.
So you're not willing to admit that maybe you have some range of motion and mobility issues there that can be improved upon?
I mean, you're welcome to try. I've done everything I know.
Do you hang on a daily basis?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah, Turkish get-ups, kettlebell arm bars, everything.
I'd have to assess you, but I'm just saying.
It's like, you're fat, you got bad posture, it's probably your shoulders.
I'm just saying, man. We can usually gain some range of motion.
Yeah, we need to talk shop because I haven't touched Indian clubs yet. I know you're all about that.
I'm about the clubs. I like the clubs and the mace.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I mess you because like a lot of the people I work with, like I network with, like I have them on Facebook. I'll say that.
Yeah.
They do a lot of the Indian club stuff. Matthew Flaherty, a friend of mine up in New York, I think he's been all about that too. He's big on the flexible steel program by John Ingham, and
I'm not familiar with that one.
I'd have to send it to you, but it's really because John Ingham, he used to light up the Taekwondo tournaments, and he realized like I'm in mid 40s. It's taking I apologize if I got that wrong, sir. I do apologize. He's like I'm not as young as some of these guys. It's taken me a while to recover. He's like, I'm a black belt. I can barely kick over my hips with just mobility. He's like, something's wrong. So he started doing like these strength movements in flexibility, and it's some pretty high speed shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, strengthening through those ranges of motion is so important.
Also, the main reason I love John Ingham's greatest quote of all time: the key to true happiness in life is lifting heavy things over your head.
I can dig it.
Oh yeah,
I love picking up heavy shit.
Like if I do a 48 kilogram bent press, not bench press, assholes, bent press.
BENT.
Yeah. Shit that hasn't been seen since the circus days. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite lift of all time.
I wasn't familiar with it until I saw you post one time.
Yeah, it is ridiculously
technical. What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, it's super technical. If you don't know what you're looking at, it looks dangerous as hell. It looks stupid. Like, why would you do that? It's the most efficient way to put weight over your head in one hand. Like, more so than a push press or a snatch.
The body is capable of so many things. And when people start getting in these rigid frames of thought that this movement is unsafe and this movement isn't correct.
I think there's enough for like half a swig.
Okay, sweet. But like that's not. I mean, if the body is trained to do something, like you can do it safely.
Right. And I mean, it's one of those movements where you have to really focus on everything that's happening because. Basically, I'll go ahead and explain the best I can without a weight because without a weight, I can't force my body into the right angle. But basically, you'd have the weight, whether it's a dumbbell, a heavy kettlebell, or even a full-size barbell.
Yeah.
Like you're holding a massive barbell in one hand. You basically hold it here at the rack. You bring it back. You set your tricep on your lat.
Right. So you got to activate your lats there.
I'll go ahead and stand up here for this.
Yeah, go ahead. We got video here.
As best I can. David Whitley, Iron Tamer, sir, if you see this, I apologize for my horrible form. You are welcome to chew me out for this.
He's the man.
He's the living king of the bent press.
He's fucking ripping apart phone books and bending iron and shit.
At one point, he was ripping tennis balls for time. But I met the man one time. I'll tell you that story here in a minute. But yeah, bent press basically starts here. You bring it back over your lat, and then instead of pressing, I'm gonna fold at the hip underneath it.
Yeah, you got to have this hinge motion. That hinge motion is very important.
And then once I almost knocked the wine off.
You're fine.
From here, I use my core and my obliques to rip up.
Right. So you have to have that mobility in your shoulder.
But I don't have
that.
I don't have that pressing strength because the bell's not. I'm not pressing the bell. I'm extending.
You're
underneath
extended
it.
already. Yeah.
I'm extending underneath it.
Yeah. So you have to have that hinge motion. That hinge motion is so important.
Right.
Yeah. It's vital to so many movements.
Right. But yeah, I remember the night I met the Iron Tamer. Like he's real tight with my strength coach Mike Lindner. Right. They're really good friends. Again, we went because Mike had told him about Exit 6. Like they do nothing but craft beer. They have amazing IPAs. Like. You know, it's kind of like hipster central. Like it's that kind of beer, but it's like it's still like beer, like guys, big badasses can drink. And of course, by this time, like I'd followed him on social media. I loved everything the man did. I was like, oh, I get to meet Iron Tamer. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because I'd done Exit 6 was sponsoring me as a fighter at the time, and I just went to a beer fest. Of course, I'm repping a shirt with a cartoon picture of myself on the front because Exit 6 sponsor on the back. I want to show up at the beer fest representing them.
For sure.
And Mike just sends me because Whitley was in town for a cert. And Mike sends me a text. He goes, Exit 6, now, Tamer. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, gotta go there.
So there's a picture on Instagram of me and Tamer. Master Whitley's got an arm on my shoulder, which felt like 80 pounds and a vice grip.
Yeah.
Picture of me. Like that, how ostentatious is that? But we're sitting there, and of course, a few other people like Matthew Flaherty I mentioned earlier. We're sitting there, and at the time, I was keeping weights in my car because I trained at several different locations. I always wanted my shit with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started talking about shit, and someone brought up the fact that I had kettlebells in my car. And Whitley, mid-drink, goes, how heavy are we talking? I go, about 28 kilograms. He goes, get them. So I go out to my car, bring in these two orange pieces, like heavy-ass pieces of metal, about 62 pounds. And he goes out to his car. He brings in 2 phone books, 2 steel rods, and a horseshoe. And so we're at least 3 beers in, which, by the way, we found out that he's just a much more badass version of me. He used to be a massage therapist. He used to practice traditional martial arts.
I forgot you were a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I love. I'm the best. Anyone else out there?
You are good, dude.
Yeah. I come across as arrogant because I'm very well aware of how good I am. But
anyway,
I earn the right. But anyway, he used to be a massage therapist. He wears a kilt. He does a lot of work with Damn Near Kilton, which is an excellent company. They do the modern style, not the tartan. They do the contemporary kilts. But yeah, we kept ordering the same beer on accident, and we had the same sense of humor.
He's your spirit animal, bro.
Right. It was crazy. Like I'm seeing what I could have been if I'd taken my life seriously. But like we had the same sense of humor. He goes, so Matt, when you're not when you're not getting locked in cage and hitting people, like, what do you do? I said, mostly I just get drunk and masturbate. He goes, did you fucking hear this guy? I'm getting his accent terrible, but he goes, you hear what he said?
He's Southern, though. He has a Southern accent.
Yeah,
Tennessee,
he runs Nashville Kettlebell in Nashville, Tennessee. But yeah, like we'd order. He came up during about this time of the year, so they had like a pumpkin beer on tea. He goes, tell me, does that taste like white girls in yoga pants?
That's
And
funny.
yeah, so we're sitting there like he's running a workshop on the bent press where we're kind of drunk in this bar. And then Mike tried to, Mike does the thing over the leg with the bar. He can't quite get it. Whitley straight up finishes it.
Yeah.
Rips a phone book. I still have the spine in my room. I put up, I have a little thing where all significant things that happen to me, I always have like a token. I've got the spine of that phone book.
Nice.
Yeah. And like I said, we're all doing bent presses, just drunk as shit in the middle of this pub.
That's dope.
It was one of the coolest nights of my life.
Yeah, that's super cool, man.
I got to meet a hero and show off to a room of strangers while I'm drunk as shit, and I looked great doing it.
Yeah, man, that guy. He bends those bars and shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Like I said, I can talk to Mike and see if we can get you guys in touch.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be totally cool to have
Yeah,
him on the podcast.
he's one of the greatest human beings, and actually from there you might get a hold of Wim Hof because they're tight.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, when he did the Wim Hof certification, because it ends with like a trek up the mountain for camp.
Yep.
He carried Wim Hof up the mountain.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because Wim knew he was a strong man, so he made him carry him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Wim would be fucking. That'd be an interesting ass conversation. He's just.
He's fucking crazy.
Just
I
energy,
haven't met
just
him.
all positive energy, man.
Oh yeah. Dude used to lock himself in meat freezers with a steak to demonstrate what's happening to actual meat, and he's just sitting there in a Speedo and a beard.
He's so crazy, man. He's broken. For the folks listening, if you don't know who Wim Hof, WIM
HOF.
HOF, 2 words. He is a bad motherfucker. He's
Oh my
broken so
God.
many records.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and it's
Just
all
breathing.
breath control.
Breath work is so important. People like somebody said, I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like you go minutes without air, you can go days without water, you can go weeks without food. You have to have fucking air. Breath work is so important.
Yeah, it's what regulates the pH in our blood. And also the way we repair tissue is with oxygen. So of course we take oxygen in, picks up on the blood, and that's how we repair tissue.
Yeah, oxygen is so important.
And of course, like when you too much carbon dioxide in your blood, I think it makes it more acidic.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because I know. Because I remember.
That sounds right.
I remember when David Blaine was doing one of his stunts where he's locked in a box for. No, he was doing the underwater, so he's trying to break the record for longest breath.
Mm-hmm.
He says about the 5-minute mark. It's acidic because your blood is so acidic, it is burning everything.
I can see that.
Yeah, so he said the whole time is nothing but mental training to ignore that, and you said you go through lists, like you go through the alphabet, then you go through your entire family, then you go through all. And because you have to ignore this intense pain because you are burning yourself from the inside.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy shit, man.
Right.
Yeah, breath work is so important. You can accomplish a lot with a strong breath.
Oh yeah.
That's what she said. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I got nothing, dude. This has been a great time, bro.
Absolutely. Great time with you, man.
Yeah. So we're about an hour and a half in.
If anyone's still listening, thank you.
Yeah. Let's wrap this shit up, bro.
Awesome.
How can folks get a hold of you? Say hi to you. Ask you questions.
Well, on Twitter at the Nerdy Heathen, Instagram as well, but Instagram's mostly just whatever. Twitter actually, I'll post shit other relative to MMA, or sometimes I'll practice my comedy on there. I do have a Facebook page, but it's mostly just like memes and stupidity. But it's also the Nerdy Heathen. It's a big picture of the cover photo is like the St. Louis Arch with the Batman symbol, and the actual profile picture is the real Thor sitting on top of the Marvel Thor with like a turkey leg in his hand.
Nice. I love it. I'll post all this in show notes too, dude.
Awesome. Thank you. And if you give a shout outs to Exit 6, Hopketo Plus, and Keltner's Carvings too, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude. Anything else you want to shout out?
Stand against the AFA, read about Declaration 127. Quit being fucking racist, you assholes.
I love it. Well, on that note, folks, we will see you next time.